Hey guys, welcome. In today's video, we'll be reviewing this Mercedes Benz A180 CDI. So Mercedes launched the A-Class hatchback in India in 2013 and today we have with us the diesel car. Straight away, let's start with the design. We have the big bold Mercedes logo along with this diamond-like finish on the grille, and this grille is actually a 70,000 rupee option and makes the car really stand out. Moving to the headlights, we have beautiful DRL elements in this L-shaped along with the projector setup. We have air dams in the bumper along with the towing hook of the vehicle over there. Moving to the side profile, now Mercedes engineers have done a very good job in designing this car. We have a tick shape or body line which goes from the bottom to the top. We also have a straight one from the headlights, and overall the side profile is really sporty and really gives this car a beautiful stance. The mirrors are a bit small with integrated turn indicators, and so is the glass area. The small glass area really does show that this car has very little cabin space, especially at the rear. The wheels on this car are 17 inches and they do look quite nice, though this car has little dirty wheels, kindly excuse that. Moving to the rear, the same beautiful design continues and it seems like the entire car converges to this point. We have a rear windscreen which is has a wraparound look, along with the rear wiper, the Mercedes logo, the A180 badge and CDI badge. The tail lights are absolutely beautiful, they are full LED units and they really look really nice. Coming to the rear again, we have parking sensors and the rear diffuser. Opening the boot, we have 321 liters of space, but almost a quarter of that is eaten up by the spare wheel. So you only have enough luggage space for, let's say, a weekend trip or a small getaway. Luggage for a family of 4 may not fit very easily. Let's quickly get inside, and straight away we notice that this door opening is quite small. So getting in and getting out is a little difficult, especially for elderly people. The door pockets too are a bit small and can only hold pencil cases, as you can see. Getting inside, we have the all black theme, which is predominantly black but has a few white inserts on the seat, and this does give it quite a compact and claustrophobic look. We have nice grab handles, switches and speakers everywhere, and everything is really built to a very good quality. Space is at a premium though. The front seat is pushed all the way forward and I am 6 foot tall and I just have enough space. Moving to the width of the car too is quite small, and Mercedes has given 3 headrests. I don't know why, because I'm sure more than 2 people will not be comfortable in this cabin at the back. Also worth noting is you don't get a rear center armrest in this car. Yes, it's a 30 lakh Mercedes without a rear center armrest nor rear AC vents. To sum it up, the rear seat experience in this car is not like a typical Mercedes. This car targets the person who likes to drive the car themselves and not be driven around. Let's quickly move to the front seat where the attention of this car is focused on. Alright, so you have your window controls, your mirror controls and your seat controls, being a Mercedes Benz. Now Mercedes have actually kept the the seat controls over there, and that makes adjusting the seat and getting into a comfortable driving position very easy. The seats are comfortable and sporty and hold you in really well. They are, however, fabric seats. Let's quickly turn on the vehicle now and bring this 2.2 liter engine to life. There we have it. So the engine settles down quite well and NVS levels in the cabin are very well contained. Moving to the instrument cluster, you have your speedometer, tachometer, your multi information display, fuel gauge, temperature gauge and your gear selector on the right side, along with your indicator and wiper on the left side. Let's quickly check the sound of the horn. Sounds quite good. We have your headlight controls on the bottom right, and these AC vents look absolutely beautiful. They are a real talking point of this car and look very nice. Another point is there are 5 AC vents, I think to compensate for the lack of AC vents at the back. You have a storage in the front, one second spot and third spot. So basically you have 3 storage compartments, and the AC climate controls is not automatic. That's quite shocking. You have a center screen which is quite small, but hey, this car is like 6 years old now. Auto-dim inside rear mirror. Talking about sun visors, both do a good job in blocking out the sun, and both also have a mirror to see how beautiful you look when you drive your beautiful A-Class down the road. The glove box too is decent size and it's full of stuff, as you can see. Talking about the steering wheel, this really is a very beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel which has buttons for controlling the information display on the left as well as buttons for taking calls on the right. This steering really does feel very nice to hold. And in my excitement to drive this car, I actually forgot to take a video of the engine bay. So here is a very dirty example of the 2.2 liter engine which I could find on the internet. More on the engine when we start driving. Alright guys, so driving the Mercedes A-Class. For a change, let's start with the different drive modes on offer. This car gives you 3 drive modes to choose from: Sport, Manual and Eco mode. Let's quickly put the car in Eco mode and find out how the car is to drive. Putting the car in Eco mode basically makes this car as slow as every other car on the road. The car really feels very sluggish, and the car upshifts at the drop of a hat in the interest of fuel economy. This is no way to drive a German A-class hatchback costing 30 lakhs. I recommend you put the car in eco mode only if you really have to save every ml of diesel to get to the nearest diesel station. It's better to put the car in sport or manual to actually enjoy what this car has to offer. And this car does have a lot to offer actually. The steering is an electromechanical unit that really is full of feed and feedback, and you know exactly what the front wheels are doing, be it at slow speeds or high speeds, and this really does give the driver confidence to drive this car fast. Talking about the handling, or rather the ride and handling balance, so this is a mixed bag. The sharp steering, stiff suspension, big 17-inch wheels and longish wheelbase give this car the handling characteristics of a bigger car, and you do feel very confident driving this car at high speeds. The flip side is, the ride quality, especially at slow city speeds, is quite harsh, and this car does crash through potholes and bumps, so you do need to be a little careful about that. Also, the low ground clearance means you do need to be careful over high speed breakers or scraping the underside of the car, because being a Mercedes, things are going to be expensive if things break. Talking about visibility, so visibility out the front is quite good. The glass area is quite decent and you can see clearly what's in front of you. The same, however, can't be said from behind, because the internal mirror, the small rear glass and the smallish outside mirrors don't give you a lot of coverage of what's behind you, and you do need to be a little bit careful about that. Let's now talk about the engine of this car. Now I have positive points and negative points to talk about this engine, or rather what Mercedes chose to put in the Mercedes A-Class for India. Let's start with that. So globally, the A-Class is available with a 1.5 litre diesel engine, which is very similar to the K9K motor what Renault Nissan use in India. Mercedes India thought that nobody would pay 30 lakhs for a car with this engine, and decided to produce the 2.2 litre engine, or rather the OM651 engine, which is doing duty in the C-Class, E-Class and the ML class at that time. Mercedes also thought that having an A-Class for 30 lakhs with the power output of a C-Class at 180 horsepower would really kill the market of the C-Class, and decided to detune this motor to 107 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. Yes, this is a Mercedes Benz with 107 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque, which is lesser than what the Skoda Laura produced at the same time for little more than half the cost. This really does affect this car's performance, especially in 0 to 100, and you can check that by clicking the link over here. Happily, however, this can easily be fixed with a remap, and I'm sure getting 160 to 170 horsepower levels should be quite easy with just a stage 1 remap, and that will totally transform the way this car drives. Talking about the gearbox, so this is a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, and Mercedes did an excellent job in setting this gearbox up with this car. With this gearbox, you don't really feel the lack of power, and the gearbox always keeps the engine in the sweet spot of the power band to make driving this car in the city or the highway a breeze. Let's now talk about the value for money package, or rather the value package of this car. Mercedes India launched this car in 2013 for around 30 lakhs on road, and for this price you got the most stylish hatchback in the world, according to me at least, the Mercedes brand logo and image, and a decent set of petrol and diesel engines. 30 lakhs, however, for a hatchback is not considered value for money in any market, especially when you consider it doesn't have basic luxury car features like leather seats, a rear center armrest, or even automatic climate control. And that I feel is a problem with the Mercedes A-Class. Or rather, that was the feeling I had on this car before I drove it. You see, before I drove this car, I always used to compare it to the Volkswagen Polo GT, specifically the GT TDI. This car's diesel, that car's diesel. Both are German hatchbacks, both are 4-door, and both do 0 to 100 in around 10-11 seconds. But this Mercedes A-Class just does everything better. The feeling it gives you while driving, the stylish outside, the premium and well-built insides are all things which the Polo also has, but this car just does it way better than that car. Is it worth 3 times as much as a Polo? That I don't know, and I don't think so also. However, this car at 15 lakhs in the used market is definitely more than 1.5 times better than the VW Polo. By this I don't mean you need to drop your plans of buying the Polo and go buy a used Mercedes A-Class. That's because the service cost is going to be higher, and general maintenance as such will be at least double that of a Polo. However, If you plan to buy a second car and you want that to be a stylish hatchback, or rather the most stylish hatchback you can buy right now, which also has the potential to beat bigger cars in 0 to 100 and acceleration with just a remap, then I recommend you do buy this car, and buy a used one at that, because it's not that different from a new Mercedes and you're going to save half the price, which is quite a big saving overall. That, my friends, is my review on the Mercedes A-Class. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider giving the video a thumbs up. Also, if you do have any feedback for my kind of reviews, or you want to see any improvement or some other cool cars to review, do let me know in the comment section below. If you like what you see, do consider subscribing, and until next time, this is JRS Cars signing off. Thank you, bye bye.